Criminals get time in prison, then probation and parole. Sentence served, right?
Wrong. In New Mexico, criminal sentences also include payment to the victims. It's called restitution, and we've learned many criminals are getting away with not paying a dime. News 13's Tim Maestas has the details in tonight's special assignment.
When you become a victim of crime, you're thrown into a system that starts speaking a foreign language. You know, ADA, hearings, proceedings, subpoenas.
What about the word sentence? For victims, it means more than time behind bars for the criminals who hurt them.
I suffer. I have a lot of pain in my body on a daily basis.
While Lorena Bustos was teaching at a state juvenile detention center in Albuquerque in 2004, now 24-year-old Jessica Saldana attacked her.
X-rays, CAT scans, MRIs.
Bustos is still suffering to this day. She can no longer work and the bills are piling up.
This is only a little bit in the garage. I have 3 boxes this high of doctor bills that I haven't been able to pay.
As part of her sentence, Saldana was ordered to pay restitution to Lorena Bustos, but guess what?
How much has she paid you?
0 balance. I mean, she has not paid me anything.
We present our receipts for the girls' counseling, for medical treatment, psychiatric help, medications.
It's a similar story for Pam Hartman and her 2 little girls. A teenage boy originally charged with molesting the children eventually pleaded down to 2 counts of contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
2 months later, in class at school, he said he was going to kill the girls.
For that, the judge in the case found the teen violated the terms of his probation. In sentencing for that offense, the boy was ordered to pay restitution to the victims. But nothing yet in that case either. In the meantime, the costs of once-a-week trips from the family home in central New Mexico to Santa Fe for counseling are growing.
Our bills right now have totaled over $10,000.
We need to figure out what will work without re-victimizing victims.
Victims' Rights Project Director Linda Atkinson says criminals failing to pay victim restitution is common, and it's wrong. Restitution is part of the judge's sentence. For offenders after the courtroom, it's prison, probation, parole. But once the time is up, there's no one left to enforce payment to the victims.
There's no teeth in the law. It says that restitution should be ordered. They have to pay for their rent. They may have child support they have to pay. How much money is going to be left?
Despite the economic realities, Bernalillo County District Attorney Carrie Brandenburg says it's an important law to have on the books.
So what we're saying is we're going to order it and hopefully make it happen, and we don't know the circumstances.
The system does have measures in place to get criminals to pay restitution, at least while finishing off their physical sentences with the state. In fact, it's the job of state probation and parole officers to develop a restitution payment plan.
Restitution is and always will be a high priority for our officers.
Even so, Deputy Probation and Parole Director David Jablonski says it's a tough job.
At times it's tough to get water from a dry well.
Jessica Saldana is already out of probation and parole supervision. The only option left for her victim is to sue, and that's something Lorena Bustos cannot afford.
It's been tough. It's been real difficult.
Pam Hartman is still waiting on a judge to decide how much the offender will pay in the case involving her little girls.
Until somebody really steps up and we try to enforce this, it remains one of those aspects of sanctions that victims are going to feel offenders, they're not being held accountable.
Tim Maestas, KRQE News 13.
Victims' rights advocate Linda Atkinson says that New Mexico needs something like a restitution enforcement agency to ensure convicts actually pay what the judges order at the sentencing.